If I have an unrealistic sales price, I mean, I show the comps, right? It's like, look, this is what your neighbors have sold for. Do you feel like your finishing inside the house is X amount of tens of thousands more than this one? And so if they're like, well, yeah, but I still want to try or whatever, I mean, it depends. If I feel like within single digit percentage, like once you get over like 10%, now it's like, you know, I feel like I've failed my client as a listing agent if we're listing like way above. And of course, like, you know, it's good to think about it as percentages, because when you get into $1 million, $2 million, $3 million properties, well, now $100,000 price reduction is not that crazy, right? But I say, okay, two options. Number one, I'm not going to go above this price because that's just silly. Look at all the other comps. This is still too high, but I'm willing to go in and list at this price if we agree that if we don't have 10 showings in the first week, then we're going to take a price reduction of this much. And if we don't have 10 showings in the first 2 weeks, then we're going to take a price reduction of this much. Because usually I'm going to get an offer for every 10 showings I get. After that, I'm going to leave it to my negotiating skills to broker a meeting of the minds from there. But I got to get my 10 showings in, so I got to be able to generate enough foot traffic in there to make that happen. If the price is too high, I build in the price reductions, but you still have to start within reason. Like, don't list a house for $1 million. And if it's worth $500,000, it makes no sense, because when I'm representing the buyer and I see that you've taken price reduction after price reduction, man, I'm going to make you pay. And then you're going to end up getting less than you would have if you had listed at the right price. Any other questions?
I think what you were talking about with the price reductions also goes into the motivation, and you talked about that before. It's like, hey, you know, we could list for $800,000, but you said you wanted to be out of here in a month, and you've got the next house lined up. It's not going to sell at that price.
There you go.
In that amount of time.
And listen, the best client, I identified like my ideal client, and they need to sell a house between $500 to $1 million and buy a house from $750 to $1.25 in the next 4 weeks. 2 transactions, $1.75 in volume, and it needs to happen quickly. Not only do you price it right, you price it low so that you sell it quickly. And I tell them, look, even though we're underpricing, I'm still going to get you this price. Like, we come to an agreement, like, this is based on the comps, $750 is what we should get. I agree, but we're going to price it at $700. I'm still going to get you to $750. We're going to price it at $700 so that it seems discounted. And we're going to get multiple offers. We're going to close in 3 weeks. We have our money that we're going to use to buy the business.